What's up, everybody? Sean here. Just wanted to give you a heads up on today's episode. This was recorded a week or week and a half back with the fellows from Vinegar Syndrome in anticipation of the release of Exploitation TV. That release got pushed back, so we weren't able to release this special episode back then. So we're going to release it today. We do have a Wes Craven retrospective that we will be posting tomorrow. So there'll be 2 episodes this week. So keep an eye on your feed for 2 episodes this week. And so tomorrow we'll be talking Wes Craven. Today, though, we are talking the launch of Vinegar Syndrome's Exploitation TV, which launches today, September 1st, 2015. Enjoy.
Something's coming.
Stand by. Hold on to your hats, here we go.
Welcome to the ScreamCast, episode 74. I am Sean DeRegger, and with me is a non-yawning Brad Henderson.
Hi, I'll yawn soon, trust me.
Oh, God. All right. Today's episode is awesome. We got some exciting news from the mouths of the gentlemen of Vinegar Syndrome. We have Brandon Upson and James Neurath on the show with us. Welcome.
Hello. Yeah. How's it going?
Brad, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
We'll hope people know what day it is today. It's like equivalent to Rex Manning Day. It's Exploitation TV Day. So, all right, you guys have Exploitation TV launched, and what's everybody has that got for the perk for the Indiegogo campaign. They some of us have it for a year. Some people have it for a lifetime, depending on what package they bought. Correct?
Yep.
And then how much will that be monthly for people?
It'll be $10 a month if you did it by month to month, but we're doing $84 a year, so about $7 a month.
All right, cool. Now it's your turn to tell people what they're getting in that package.
So basically what we're going to have is we're going to launch with around 350 to 400 titles on the website.
And originally we had projected 250, and we exceeded it by a wide margin, that amount.
We have 3 other companies on the website right now, and we're shooting to get more. We're trying to bring people together. We're trying to create community within this community, and we're trying to see where this can go.
That's awesome. What companies do you guys have partnered up for Exploitation TV so far?
Right now we have titles from Severin, Massacre Video, and a smaller company in Ontario called Vagrancy Video.
We also do have a few titles from a 4th company called Dystropix.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff that is going to be on this website.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we're talking to other companies as well. Other stuff is going to be added, and it's just going to get bigger from there.
Now you're with you're saying Dystropix, the adult film place, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're a good friend of ours, and we do work with them, and they've helped us a lot in the past, and we like them. We want them to be successful as well. So we're throwing some of their stuff up there and trying to get that out in the world.
Yeah, I have a couple of their titles, but yeah, they're they haven't been around that long. They don't have a ton.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, they have been around for a pretty long time.
Oh, they have? Okay.
Yeah, it was a company started a while ago, and they kind of changed formats from tape to film. But,
okay.
Yeah, they've been around for probably 20 years, right?
I think what it was, they were known as Video Pix, I think for probably all through the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And then it changed over to Distripix, with the DVDs and the Blu-rays. And the DVDs and Blu-rays have been fairly new. Probably within.
Yeah, I think that's kind of when I got into like Barber Broadcast. I think
Oh,
was
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
Blu-rays or something.
Yep,
And that's kind of when I very first heard about them.
exactly. And you mentioned Barber Broadcast. That's going to be up on the website, and the good transfer of it that they did. So.
Yeah. No, everything I've purchased by them, it's really decent because I think they did a 2K. Because they have now. Are you guys doing like the pornographic and the non-pornographic?
Yes, we are. There's
okay.
Every type of genre is up there. From there's the vintage X-rated. There's the strange, almost like with Massacre Video. I guess you would call it the more like the stuff.
It's like gore horror porn.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Like Sex Android and shit.
Yeah, but then we even have some great stuff like we have a 1938 documentary we did early transfer of called Sex Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this, conservative, anti-sex, kind of like Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
And we even have, I think, a old kids movie on there from Britain about this kid who wishes for a steamroller and it actually destroys Britain. And we have a bunch of other like raw forces up there, and it's sky's the limit with it.
Yeah.
So
but the cool thing about it is, you mentioned the porn. Everything will be tagged, so you'll know if it's X-rated or not. And we're pretty open about that too.
So I shouldn't install this on my kid's Wii U.
No,
It's not a Wii U app, I'm assuming.
You won't be able to for the Wii U, but Roku, it will be a private channel.
Okay.
So you'll have that, so your kid won't be able to access it unless they know the password. So
they're pretty smart. They were watching me the other day, like putting in a password, and I just knew my son was processing in his mind because he's really good with numbers. I knew he was watching my fingers, so I was like, "Oh shit, I'm screwed." So there will be a few apps be launching as well, or is it just the website that's out today? What's going out with the launch?
Yeah. What platforms really?
We're trying to get the Roku out, and we're trying to get the other stuff going, but we're taking the website, making that priority, and we're just seeing where we land. It's kind of like it's like an avalanche, but we're sorting out.
Okay. Well, the website will be. I mean, I'm starting to watch more and more on my computers because of convenience. I never thought I would be doing that, but my wife will be wondering where I am. Why are you at the computer so long?
With porn.
Another good thing about this website is, as great as the stuff looks, I think it'll encourage people to. They'll check out a title and they'll say, "Oh, maybe I'll go check out this company and buy the actual, DVD or Blu-ray version."
Yeah.
Which will, a Blu-ray, just because of compression, it's going to look, much better than even on a streaming site.
Mm-hmm.
Until they somehow stream 4K, which I don't know, it's easier said than done. But so far, it's I think it's going to encourage people to do that.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine streaming 4K. That would clog up my network so bad.
Well, I think like only massive corporations and like military can afford to have that amount streaming at once.
My network bogs just installing an Xbox One game. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. That's only like 50, 40 gigs, something like that.
Yeah. I was just going to download 50 gigs right now.
So I know you said, on the past, because this is, third time on the show, and we've talked about this periodically throughout. So now, is all your back titles that are on your catalog on physical format, will they be available on the site?
Yes.
Yep. Just about. I think all of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully we didn't forget any, but yes.
Yeah.
Now moving forward with the new releases, the day that they come out, that they're available, will they be available for streaming as well?
It won't be that to the
quick of a
minute.
turnaround? Okay.
Yeah, but it'll be definitely very soon.
Okay. And this covers Vinegar Syndrome, not just the Exploitation Blu-rays that are coming out, because I know like Crypt of the Living Dead and what was the other one? Was it one of the Picaramas?
Yeah, Young Like It Hot, Sweet Young Foxes.
Yeah, so, but those will all be included too. It's just not Vinegar Syndrome titles. It's basically everything that's under the umbrella.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
Including Some Call It Lovin' from Etiquette Pictures. That'll be up there.
But however, there are some movies that we've had the privilege to work on. I don't want to name them yet, but there are some that we might not have the distribution for streaming, so you never really know. But that's pretty rare.
Yeah, and for the physical media guys, I mean, this is another thing you mentioned, that you won't stop putting out, DVDs and Blu-rays. And that's still...
We'll be restoring stuff today.
One thing we can announce is we're actually expanding for next year. And,
Okay.
Sorry, we're right next to a fire station that's going by.
I thought that was people cheering in the background.
That's the mob, dude.
But yeah, we're actually expanding. The plan is to expand physical media next year. So, to the point, I think, knock on wood, this is what we're going to try to do. Maybe at least one Blu-ray each month, and possibly two, along with the other, 3 or 4 DVD titles as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and especially because, next year is going to be real interesting because, that's when Dolomite comes out, that's when all the other blaxploitation titles come out, and, a lot of stuff we can't mention yet, but
Right.
a lot of great stuff.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, it's because that's a big thing for a lot of people, is that I think when they heard about the streaming thing, they all, I saw a few sighs online. I was like, no. I mean, you guys, of all the companies that are out there, you guys are releasing movies every month.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that. I mean, they might be releasing, 8, 10 titles a year on Blu-ray. Not saying there's a Blu-ray in every package you guys do, but for the most part, it's very, very close.
No, we've had a lot of success, and we also have collectors in the company, so we're very...
That's me. I'm the collector.
We're very excited about physical media. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. And another thing I'd like to add, what's cool about Exploitation TV is we're able to see, which titles get, the amount of views and how long people are watching. So if there's a title that's, that we own, but it's up on the site, but that we haven't put out a physical version of, and if we see people, watching it nonstop, we'll certainly consider it. And we have been talking about maybe, once or twice a year, maybe starting next year, we'll say, okay, what one from the website would you guys like to see have a physical copy of?
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be really, really good for everyone. A really good compromise between the streaming and the physical media. Because I personally like to do both, I have my physical copies, but I also occasionally watch stuff which maybe I don't have a copy of yet.
He has a lot of physical copies.
Yeah. No, that's the same thing with us, too. Now, the other question I had was the work. I mean, obviously, you guys do fabulous work on the DVDs and Blu-rays with special features and stuff. Now, will the same work? Oh, you're welcome. The same work be going into like the 2K scans, all the restoration for the stuff that's streaming, or are you guys just doing kind of prints, through a machine and putting them on there? How is it the same work going in from like what you guys are doing physical media to what's going to be on Exploitation TV?
Well, we do our best to restore everything we can, but no, we can't and don't have the time to restore every single film the way that
Yeah,
we
no,
do.
I didn't think so.
Now, having said that, if people watch it and it's a title they want to request, we will certainly consider doing that. We'll maybe re-look at it and re-restore it. There are some titles that they look pretty good, and they're also lost films that are on the streaming site. that we put up. I think the number one that I'm real excited about that people like up there is Did Baby Shoot Her Sugar Daddy? Which I don't think has been seen. It might have come out on VHS. I'm not positive.
Yeah.
We scan a print of it, and the print looks pretty decent. And it's just a great exploitation title that people will get to see for the first time in it, and probably since it came out.
Well, I'll be looking for that. Have you ever? Is it in the works, or have heard, or on your radar for Who Killed Teddy Bear?
I haven't heard that one.
No?
Oh,
Heard about that one.
that's a really gritty, dirty movie from the 60s.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Teddy bear?
Yeah. Who killed Teddy Bear? Yeah, Who Killed Teddy Bear?
Keep that one in mind.
Yeah, we get these every day.
We're always on the lookout for
always,
this stuff. Yeah.
It's always fun to get all these every day, and we begin the search.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with what you guys have, with kind of all the preservation thing and the prints that you have, I mean, are there films that you haven't even discovered yet? They're in your warehouse, or do you still have everything?
That's an absolute massive capital letters wide. Yes.
A lot of stuff. Occasionally we buy these old film archives from these defunct film labs. And if the film lab, when they were boxing the films up, they would occasionally, if either they didn't really care to look into the film to read the title or not, they would just put on the box, the name of the lab, and that would be the name for the films. So,
or they'd hire a guy for no money to box up films, and he sometimes maybe would be illiterate, and he would write, instead of young like it hot, he would write rung like it mott. And there's just hundreds and hundreds of boxes and reels and like that.
Well, this also gives you opportunity with Exploitation TV to actually, go through there a little bit more and get the things out there. Because, I mean, yeah, the restoration and everything like that. I mean, you guys are pumping out, well, a lot of those movies are even double packs. I mean, you have a lot of doubles that are in there. So it just might be 4 physical media copies, but it could be 7 movies in total. So, this now with Exploitation TV, the whole maybe goal is to put out more of what you have. Is that a running thing for you guys?
Yeah, some of these films that are going to be on Exploitation TV, we probably wouldn't have put out in physical media. So
yeah,
we're excited to be able to put them out into the world. They're not going to be perfect, but otherwise they'd still be sitting on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it's hard to gauge what's going to sell with some of these titles. How do you kind of formulate that already with some of the titles that you release? Because I mean, certain ones hey, this is going to do really well, and that also could be a disappointment. But how are you gauging that with the physical media copies? By requests or just preference?
Oh, there's a lot of different parts of that, but yeah, there's people requests. There's the elements of the actual film. There's the genre that it's in. There's the way that it could explode or it could not explode. You never really know. There's a couple of films that we've done that still sell really well. It boggles the mind, and then there's others that they may have been put out before, and even if we made them a lot better. So, there's still a lot of them out there. So it's not a crapshoot, but it's kind of similar to one.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, Sean? Or you eating your protein bar? Well, I guess Sean's not here. Sean fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
So you have your next batch of films with Nightmare Weekend the August lineup was sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things, a limited edition of The Young Like It Hot and Sweet Young Foxes. So are we going to expect more of the etiquette pictures? Because I know that the next one is the American Dreamer, right? The Dennis Hopper film.
Yep, that's the next one. I'm actually, I have been authorized to say our next one after that in November is this film called Catch My Soul, which was it's been essentially a lost film. And what it is, it's the only feature film that this actor Patrick McGoohan, who
Longshanks.
Yeah, Longshanks from Braveheart, but he's more famous for The Prisoner in the TV series in Britain. And it's this crazy, awesome rock opera that was shot in the desert outside Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's kind of like this new age, hippie, weird. It's kind of Christian, but not really. It's weird.
It plays off Othello.
Yeah, and Richie Havens, who opened Woodstock, plays Othello. And also we got, Tony Joe White is in it, and a lot of famous singers from back in the day. They did this rock opera, and it was one of those films where it was kind of, I guess, critically eviscerated, and it was kind of just thrown by the wayside. But when we heard about it and we checked it out, a lot of people have been trying to see this film, and when they've actually seen it, it's pretty amazing. People look at it, 30 years really changes an attitude towards the film. So it was really good. And I'm really excited for it. We're putting, a lot of great stuff with it. And yeah, I think it's going to be, people are going to really eye-opening experience with the film.
Now, do you guys have like daily screenings like in the office, or how does that how do you guys set that up for yourselves? So, obviously you just, want to grab something blind, or do you like have kind of a list of what you want to get to?
It depends. If the film is out there, sometimes there's a VHS copy circling the internet, and we'll check it out just to see how the film is. And if there's potential. Otherwise, we really don't have time to screen films until we QC the Blu-rays or DVDs to ready to be manufactured. So, yeah. And I say I've seen a lot of the films, but really what I mean is I restored a lot of the films. And, when you're going frame by frame and there's no audio, it's a kind of a different experience than actually sitting down and watching a film. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, I was just curious at how that works with certain things. I mean, some of the titles that you've released, they're extremely scarce. And even belonging to certain websites that actually don't use piracy to new stuff. They actually want to keep kind of preservation going and keeping these films alive, so that way they're not forgotten about. They're not even existent on that half the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of curious of how that all transpires.
Well, another thing we do, if sometimes the film will have a trailer, just a small trailer reel, and we'll scan that and check that out and see how it is. We've done that with more than a few of the films.
Yeah, how long does it take to scan a trailer?
A trailer, we can get it scanned in like an hour. Yeah. So that way we can at least check it out and see how a film, should look, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I have no idea how long it actually takes to scan a print.
It depends. For 2K, it could take a couple hours, 3 hours. But for 4K, it's much longer. For 4K, it's 1 frame per second for the reel, which translates to about 4 to 5 hours on each reel of film. Yeah. If you get a film that has 10 reels, it's gonna be a long couple of weeks to scan that one.
Yeah.
Is your partner back?
Yes. Yeah, Sean, are you back?
I'm back. I've been back. What are you talking about?
Did you fall asleep?
We were talking to you and you didn't answer.
Oh, I sent you a text message. I had to go take a dump.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Oh, I wish I would have saw that because I would have made a joke.
It's all good. This is for to the listeners' ears.
Dude, I'm so excited about Exploitation TV.
I took a shit during this
too.
interview, everybody.
It's cool. You never know what's happening in the background. Like I had one of my employees walk in, and he just slowly opened the door, and I looked at him like the evil monkey from Family Guy. I'm like, "Get the fuck out!" And he's like,
No shame. I have no shame, everybody. So that's why I did not answer earlier when Brad.
No, it's okay.
Tried to get a hold of me.
no
I
problem.
forget what we were talking about. You. I was asking if you had any questions.
Oh, I
talk too much.
I do have questions on just what's going on with the how the because when everyone's got the Indiegogo, I can't freaking talk this morning.
It's okay.
The Indiegogo,
you got shit in your mouth.
The limited releases that everyone got. How are those coming along, and when can people be expecting to receive those?
So those are being replicated right now at the factory.
Nice.
And they kept getting pushed back because we wanted to do them right, but also because we have a month-to-month schedule of releases, and those always come first. And we'd work on them whenever we could, and they're being replicated right now. They should be out, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. Don't quote me, but they're going well.
Cool.
It is funny seeing some of the passion of people and calling me expletives about when they're going to get their exclusives, but it's all fun.
It is understandable though, because you've seen a lot of Indiegogo and Kickstarters just fail, or people put money in and then nothing happens, and people get fucked over because of that.
Right, but you're also talking about it constantly and giving updates and posting on Facebook and actually communicating with the fans. A lot of these people just take the money and run.
Do a few contests, hey guys, this is for real, here, win a Roku.
And then there's also people's credits that they got. I've been trying to ship those out as well as I can.
Yeah, I did all the future ones, so I'm like, all right, when's Demonoid coming out? When's Fright Night? I'm like, oh shit, I should have. And then I just saw Nightmare Weekend. I'm like, up on your site, and I was like, oh shoot, why didn't I ask for a Nightmare Weekend? Oh well.
Because you're an idiot.
Get that. Yeah. Well, I'll be ordering that for sure.
Nightmare Weekend's a fucking blast.
Coming very soon.
Nice. Yes.
I'm the one that got that screen cap, by the way, and I didn't get shit for it, so I will bitch about that.
Wait,
you guys posted a screen cap of it on the site or on your Facebook, and you're like, hey, what is this? And I immediately put Nightmare Weekend. Well, actually, it was like a couple hours that went by, and then I saw it because one of our other co-hosts, Brian Sauer, he sent me a picture, and he's like, hey, do you know what this is? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. And I typed it, and then everybody after that was just like, yeah, it does, Nightmare Weekend. And I was like, you motherfuckers.
Well, one of the things I've realized that, it just makes my job so much fun every day is the more and more popular we become, the more and more trolls come out of the woodwork.
Oh, God.
And every day, man, I've noticed on Facebook, if you type in all capital letters, Facebook automatically blocks your comment.
Oh, nice.
And then, so people that type all capital letters, Facebook blocks it, but then think that I'm ignoring them. I love that, man.
That's a fantastic feature because I hate all caps.
Anybody's going to have that, and you're right. I mean, it's the same thing with us. I mean, we started off as just probably like 5 listeners in the beginning of this thing 2 years ago, and then we started getting hate emails last year, and now it's getting a little bit more, and people just being just trolling, saying stupid things to us. And I was like, hey, we're doing something right, because when you actually get trolls and you get people that actually want to pester you, you're doing something. And it's the same, it goes for anybody. I mean, I'm not going to compare myself with Vinegar Syndrome.
Just to say my favorite of any of them has been I think someone trying to get, it was a weird email of someone trying to get work done, and it sounded really sketchy, and, we respectfully said no, and they said, okay, well, I'm going to have to see you guys, and you'll see it. But the funny thing is, they said, we'll get a complaint from the
FCC.
No, it wasn't the FCC. It was like the something trade commission.
Oh, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission.
Which is really funny because I don't think they know what that is. The Trade Commission is for like if we were a massive billion-dollar company shipping, hundreds of millions of stuff to Europe. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are sitting naked in piles of cash right now, right?
Yeah, dude, that's...
exactly.
It's just a dream around. It's like we have a grotto, and I'm wearing a Playboy outfit. I'm a bunny. I would actually look a bunny. Right
We're like the rich maggots. I'm kind of like Scrooge McDuck. Where
Rich maggots. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I get my exercise jumping in, doing a cannonball into the piles of money.
Into gold doubloons.
Yep. No, that would actually. I guess I saw someone try to do that in real life. I heard it. You almost die from it.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work or not.
Well, I picture is that you took the limited edition Indiegogo ones and you glued them together and you made a throne, and that's what you're sitting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all done.
It's a heat cut melted with Game of Thrones sword one. It's on a Blu-ray cases.
Another fire.
I just think it's people cheering. That's what it sounds like on this side.
Yeah.
The one, not you. The one question I do have, since we were talking about kind of trolls and people that are upset, how does because you had a lot of limited editions, like Pretty Peaches and stuff like, just all your limited editions that sold out. Now, are those are obviously going to be available as well, too?
Yeah, and exactly. And another thing with those, we have been talking, I don't really consider that a trolling situation, because I myself do hate doing limited editions. We kind of have to do them because even as successful as the X-rateds are, we still don't know how well they're going to do overall. And even the Peakorama Blu-ray that was limited, but it was also kind of a test for us to see how the Peakoramas would do. We knew, Pretty Peaches did well, Sex World did well, but how would, taking Peakoramas and having them do well, I'm not sure how Tobolina's would do, to be honest, if we did a Tobolina double feature. But with those, not only are they all available on Exploitation TV, we have been talking about, putting Sex World back out on just a regular Blu-ray, kind of what, I'm thinking because, kind of what, Synapse what they did with Demons, too. Where you don't have to spend massive amounts on eBay to get it, and for the limited people, it won't include the soundtrack, so the limited edition people, you still have that.
They'll still, you'll still feel special.
No,
everybody.
But that's a maybe. It's all a maybe.
This is all a maybe. It's all talk and everything,
yeah.
But you will be able to see, a decent high def version on the website. So
cool.
No, I think people need to be appreciative of that, because people that didn't get, maybe around to buying the limited edition, now they can actually see it. Because if you still bitch about it, then you're worried about the physical copy and obtaining it, not the actual movie itself. So,
me personally, I wish I got that Videodrome box set from Arrow.
I know, I'm kicking myself.
Yeah,
he keeps his Blu-rays next to his bed.
In between my two loves. What's wrong with that?
Well, you need to be able to caress them to sleep.
But we always do limited editions with the goal in mind that the number one goal is to preserve more film.
Yeah.
It's not to make X amount of money and laugh about it. It's to preserve more film.
And another problem with it, though, is because of the Blu-ray costs for manufacturing.
Yeah.
They are still, very, very high. For a quote-unquote something that is dying off, home video, you would think it'd be cheaper. But it is expensive for manufacturing. Having said that, I'm just saying things look good for next year to expand. And maybe the limited editions will be a little bit less, and we'll see how it goes, though. You can't predict the future, but
so stick around.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, with the limited editions, and you said that pretty much everything that in your back catalog that you release in physical media will be on Exploitation TV, so that includes Murder on the Emerald Seas?
Yes, that will be
up.
Yep.
Sweet, because I really want people to watch that. Because
Me too.
I love that shit.
I walked up, I was at Rock and Shock in Massachusetts, and I walked up to Tom Savini and I gave Tom Savini a copy of that, and he his eyes kind of rolled over and he kind of woke up, and he was really excited about it, and he had me take a picture of him holding it because he wanted to send a picture of it to
Alan Orsby,
the director. And then he went after I left. He went back into his sad Tom Savini himself. Oh, he's a funny dude. But yeah, I want more people to see that movie too.
Yeah. Is there going to be another question? Just railing you with questions. Is there going to be any more records that you guys do? Because you guys did the Night Train to Terror, and that seemed to do okay.
It did very well. We want to do more records. The issue is with this site, doing the Indiegogo was such a massive undertaking, along with keeping the regular releases for Vinegar Syndrome and the Etiquette Pictures. It's we're just trying to catch. Now that the site is going to be up, we'll be able to sort of catch up and kind of do everything. We do have. I'm not going to mention it yet, just because we do have another 7-inch in the works that we're trying to do that. We do have plans for an eventual LP for one of the films, and who knows where it goes from there. I don't want to say any titles yet, just because it's still touch and go right now with the work on the website. Me personally, I've been helping more with the site, and we've been kind of the restorations. I'm going back to that this week, luckily. But we caught up, through the end of the year, and we're going back to them the beginning of this year and just kind of catching up. So, but I think people will see more of that. We actually did get more shirts made too, so those will be going back up the site finally. We actually had a new design made for Vengeance is Mine.
That Brandon design.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. But I thought it came out pretty good.
That's the Death Force one.
Yeah. And,
okay, cool.
I'm happy to tell everyone who was kind of pissed because the shirts that we had made last time, the ink was too thick, and once you washed it a couple times, it started peeling off. We did do, we spent the extra money. We did get the ink discharge, so it's actually embedded in the shirt. So after you wash it, it'll be really good. And yeah, so that's one of the things to add. And not that I'm pushing the shirts a lot.
I'm sorry the shirts suck, guys.
But no, getting back to your point about the music, yeah, we do definitely want to do more soundtracks too. Especially a lot of these films have a lot more great music that accompany them too.
Yeah. I was just thinking it because it had the Sex World soundtrack with physical copy, so I was wondering why that didn't get. But I mean, yeah, it's obvious that you guys are busy, so no harm, no foul on that. I was just curious.
Well, that's one we definitely would love to do in the future. We'll see what happens.
So, Sean, are you taking another dump?
Nope, I'm here.
Okay.
I was going to ask you guys, it's been a while since last we talked. I think last we had spoke, we hadn't really talked Madman or anything yet. How has Madman done for you guys?
It's done amazing for us. Yeah, it's done incredible. And I know in the UK they're putting out the Arrow version, which is basically ours. I think with a few minor. I think maybe one or two, they added a new introduction and everything. But otherwise, if people are listening in the UK, get that copy too. And it's the, same grade transfer and everything. But yeah, it's done very well for us. And we had a great screening up at the Hudson Horror Show in upstate New York where the producer brought an actual print he has. And it went awesome.
And Madman Mars was there.
Oh yeah, Paul Ehlers was there, who's one of the nicest guys you can meet and just talk to about it. You see him and he's so nice. You're like, oh wow, you killed 20 people in the movie. But,
what's awesome? I just realized this. He designed that. He designed the reversible cover, which is actually the cover that I switched mine to.
Well, that's what he originally was hired for on the production. Yeah, he was originally hired for art.
Nice.
And I guess they looked at 30 guys, as Gary said, they looked at hockey players and bodybuilders to be madmen. None of them worked, and they eventually just looked to the side and saw Paul. Who's pretty. He was like pretty big. He was like over 6 feet and kind of looked like a big football player, burly guy, and he just did artwork. And they said, "Hey, do you want to be madman?"
Wow.
Jumped right in. So
That's awesome. I also put it in a black Blu-ray case with the reverse art. Looks amazing.
Oh, it does? Nice.
Do you keep it next to your bed?
That one I do, yes.
Now, with the horror titles doing really well, does that, because you have released a few horror films, but is that something that you're maybe looking more into because they sell better, or?
Yeah, definitely. Nightmare Weekend, that's kind of the start of it. October, we have, I think it's Demonoid, and what's the second one?
There's a Killer Bees, right? Is that another one?
All right, the Bees was...
Or Bees.
I kidding you, it was literally stuck in cartel country. But I guess it's been worked out where that was planned for February, because people have been asking about that, but... Frightmare, yes. Okay, so October...
Oh, yes.
Frightmare and Demonoid. And Demonoid will include the Demonoid cut, and it will also include the alternate international cut called Macabre. And
okay.
Yeah, and then Frightmare's coming out, and then the Bees, that's been crazy. I know it's got pushed back for so long, but yeah, last I heard what had happened, it was stuck down in Mexico, and it was just a little tougher getting film elements out with everything going on. But now I heard they may have gotten it out, and we're scheduling it for February currently, so it's on the roster. It will come out eventually. We have the rights for it, so.
That's one of my most anticipated ones. I saw that as a kid.
Oh yeah.
And ever since then, because I was already scared of bees, but like that movie like enhanced and made my fright of bees even more. Yeah. So I saw that. I can't remember. It was on TV at some point, but
yeah.
So every time I'd be like, "Mom, is that a killer bee?"
There's so many horror movies we want to do, but there's so many exploitation films that are just lost. So we're kind of like we kind of like by our ethos, we have to do those first.
Yeah.
But we definitely want to do a lot more horror stuff.
I mean, the horror stuff right now seems really competitive. Are you guys running into that with some titles that are on your list? Your kind of bucket list for Vinegar Syndrome, or?
A little bit, but at the same time, not really, because we don't try to do too many out and out studio films.
Right.
Like a good example, Scream Factory. They're kind of sticking with the MGM, Universal, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We'd love to do them, but at the same time, some of them really wouldn't fit.
They're out of place.
They're almost too nice for what we're doing. That's an example why we split off for Etiquette Pictures. It was for these films that were kind of from the same era, but didn't really fit with Vinegar Syndrome. And if we had it starting off, if we had Etiquette, a good example of the telephone book would probably be on Etiquette Pictures.
Yeah, we mentioned that last time.
Yeah. So, or like Johnny Gunman, we might have done. Who knows? We might have done a really good, because that's a lost film noir, and it's sad because the Candidate. It's an interesting film, but it's kind of I consider it inferior to Johnny Gunman, which is this really great lost film noir that a lot of people haven't really taken the time to watch, and that's also going to be on Exploitation TV to check out.
Cool.
So,
have you ever seen Johnny Gunman?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I might need to watch it again. I wasn't a fan.
Okay.
But it was interesting. I mean, I could see what you're saying about because I guess I wasn't what I was expecting.
Well, that's the thing.
But it
is a sex comedy too.
Yeah. But I mean, not everything that you've released, of course, has appeased me. I'll just say that right now, since everybody thinks I suck your dicks all the time. No, it was interesting for the most part, I guess you would say. But maybe give it another go around. It was short, at least. That's a plus.
It is a short film, yeah.
Hey, there are a few films that I'm not going to name that we released that are just horrifically way too long and make me want to kill like children.
Oh God, not that. He doesn't really want to do that.
So, in talking with Etiquette Pictures, it was the first title you released on Etiquette Pictures. Some Call It Loving.
Yep.
How has that been doing? 'Cause I would imagine that's kind of just throwing it out there and seeing, how this Etiquette Pictures thing is going to work. Has that been received?
Oh yeah, no, it's been received very, very well. And a lot of people are checking it out because it is this really lost, surreal film that has these great elements. It's got Zalman King, who he would later go on to be known for his kind of like the softcore stuff.
Yeah, Red Shoe Diaries.
Yeah, Red Shoe Diaries, but he also directed I think it was 9.5 weeks. 9.5 weeks. Wild Orchid he did.
Yeah.
He would do Blue Sunshine.
He's in Blue Sunshine.
Yeah, and
he's fucking great in that.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to check that one out. But also it's got Richard Pryor in it playing kind of a serious, sad role as like this just addicted guy, and you have Tisa Farrow from the Zombie, and this was when she was starting off. This was one of her first films, and it's all directed by Stanley Kubrick's early producer. So it's this really weird, crazy.
It's like an itch the guy had to scratch.
Yeah, because he would go on. I think what's cool is Kino, the Studio Classics. They're putting out another one of James Harris's films, Cop, with James Woods. So that's going to be pretty cool. But overall, yeah, Etiquette has been great. I really think American Dreamer is going to do great. I watched the documentary now
4 times,
probably 4 or 5 times, and I can always watch it again. It's really, really awesome and just kind of mind blowing at just how it was back then, and seeing the process and just seeing everything about it and just how Dennis Hopper was.
Yeah.
And it's nuts.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's now the Etiquette Pictures is mostly going the blaxploitation stuff will be on there mostly?
Some of it will, some of it will be on Vinegar Syndrome. A good example is Sweetback's Badass Song. A lot of people, as much as blaxploitation owes to it, a lot of people don't consider it a blaxploitation film per se.
Yeah,
they consider it more artistic because of the ending. It doesn't end like a blaxploitation film.
Right.
And that one's probably going to be on Etiquette. Coonskin will probably be on Etiquette Pictures as well. Mm-hmm. That one, it's directed by Ralph Bakshi. It's crazy animation. It's a little bit more artsy and stuff.
I can't wait for that one either.
Yeah, Dolomite will be on Vinegar Syndrome. That's a definite. I'm guessing stuff like The Human Tornado and other films similar to that will be on Vinegar Syndrome because they're more the exploitative films.
Right.
We do have another film I'm really excited about. I can't talk about it yet, but it's held in really high regard in terms of not just blaxploitation, but cinema in general. And that probably be coming out in Etiquette next year. But we'll see how that one goes.
Ooh.
Now, is that a partnership with Xenon then? Is that what's happening with you guys? Okay.
Yeah,
and that will be part of kind of the exploitation TV as well? Xenon titles in the future? I know you guys can't talk about it, but is that something that could be in the works possibly?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on how Dolomite does, maybe you can release that box set.
We'll see. Who knows?
So.
But it's still in the works with that. But we have the home video rights. But as far as the streaming, I think it's still being talked about.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Cool. Have we talked with them about their deal where you can receive your order in a Grindhouse film canister? Have we talked about that?
No, we've never mentioned that. Do people do that? Because it seems cool.
No.
Okay.
I shipped 2 out the other day.
I
Right?
shipped. Yeah, they have. Have either of you ever gotten one?
No.
All right, maybe that'll happen in the future. You never know.
I just pre-ordered a couple things, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, but you took a dump during the interview, dude.
He'll take a dump in that canister.
I know.
So we.
I don't know what I would do with that thing.
So sometimes we would get 20. Let's say we get X amount of pallets of film, and let's say 3/4 of them are prints that are cool to have, but we can't do anything with them. We'll change the way that they're kept, and we'll have just all these just cans everywhere, and some of them are really cool. Some of them are disgusting and gross and rusty. I only send the nice ones, but some of them have Jesus stickers in them, or guys write their names in them, and
Or they draw penises on
or they
them.
draw dicks. It's pretty. But yeah, we were just kind of holding them. And they were just wrapped in plastic, and then one day I was like, why don't we just ship these to people? And then we've got a lot of interesting ones, people want them, a lot of interesting places. My favorite was this couple in Alaska ordered 2 of them, and they both, I think they both live in the same street. I don't know if they're a couple, but they live in the same street, and it was Anchorage, Alaska, and I just sent 2 film cans full of porn to Alaska.
But another thing with the cans too, a lot of times, if it's a film print, a lot of times they come in metal cans, and the problem with metal cans is metal cans have a chance of rusting, and that can cause Vinegar Syndrome as well. So we want to get those out and put them, at least in cardboard or on plastic reels too, because plastic doesn't rot necessarily, so you don't have to worry about that. And whenever possible, we try to just empty out the metal cans, and a lot of them have cool titles on them. So it's better off.
And a lot of them used to get shipped Greyhound bus, so they'd have Greyhound stickers on them.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
No.
But now you're able to get plastic cans too,
Right.
which are made up, and they look really nice. I think they're blue cans. So.
That's awesome. I've just never seen anyone ever do that, so it's pretty great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking that people would. I mean, I've thought about it, but I was it was. I'm like, Sean, where the hell am I going to put it? And does it look like what it does in the picture? Is it going to be gross? So.
Oh man, I'm going to send you 3 disgustingly rusty ones.
Smelling of vinegar, you'll never watch. Some people, I've seen one person do this. I don't know if it was one of our cans, but I've seen him do it with a big film canister. They cleaned it up, and then they put potting soil in it.
Oh, and they grew stuff in it?
And grew stuff in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it won't leak out. That's the thing. It's so thick it won't leak out.
They're really heavy.
Oh yeah, they are really heavy. Even when they're empty, they're pretty heavy.
When they're empty, they're 12 pounds. When they're full of 4 reels, they're 55, 60 pounds. So that's why I'm not a small person.
Make sure you get some protein after lifting those.
I feel the smarter you are in this building, the smaller you are.
Pretty small.
Brandon's stocky though. He's strong.
If one of these arrives on my doorstep, I will have to somehow videotape my wife's reaction.
Do an unboxing, Sean. Do an unboxing with her bitching in the background.
Yes.
I'm going to send the most vinegared, grossest one possible.
Well, not necessarily that. Send the one with the most fucked up name.
With 5 copies of Johnny Gunn.
At least I'll watch it again if that's the case.
Be amazing. Yeah.
So anything else you guys want to add on by yourselves that we haven't covered or asked?
Just give Exploitation TV a shot. not only do we have the features up there, we scanned a bunch of trailers, and we have
a lot of trailers.
Yeah, a lot of trailers. We're going to add more. And we have a area called extras. We only have like a few up there now, but they're actual. We have an interview with Jamie Gillis. It's a written interview, and we have a few essays. We have the actual booklet essays from Massage Parlor Murders, written out, so you can check it out. And
we have shorts too. So
we have a lot of weird, wacky,
like art school shorts.
Nice.
By way of X-rated too, occasionally. So, it's a lot of interesting stuff to check out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to set aside a box of time.
Now, the interface will that you guys have constructed for that will be pretty easy to navigate, would you say, or is it just kind of all there right now, or do people have to? Is it pretty easy to look through things?
It's pretty easy to explore.
It's built for the user.
Yeah, it's built for the user. It's pretty. You can watch now. You can hit watch later. You can add films. You have a watch list you can add to.
Okay.
And you can rate things if you want to rate things.
You can actually leave comments too. Right? Maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, we'll
rating.
Have a section.
Can we put it in all caps?
Block.
If you put everything in all caps, but yeah, it's only going to get bigger, and it's only going to help us preserve more film and spread films that haven't been watched in 50 years to a bigger audience. So we're really excited about it.
That's great. Very cool. And you guys have for the next in September, you guys have that's when the American Dreamer is coming out, and of course Nightmare Weekend, along with a few other goodies within that September package. So.
That was going to be a great package. October is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
November should be interesting as well. November we're kind of taking off and kind of not. We have the Blu-ray for Catch My Soul, but in Black Friday we will have a surprise release, and we'll see how that one goes. It's kind of going to be on Black Friday. You'll actually see what it is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm shaking with anticipation. I love surprise stuff like that. It's fun.
Oh yeah, and then December we're taking off, and then January we're definitely hitting with a bang. So.
Awesome.
Now, for the Exploitation TV thing, for the Severin titles, and like you said, the Massacre titles, it won't be their entire catalog, but certain titles. Can you tell us any of those?
Oh yeah, I'm happy to say the Castle. The Barbara Steele trilogy that just came out from Severin.
Oh, yeah.
The really good-looking, awesome stuff, that's going to be up there. The
Massacre has some gross stuff, like Aroska, the Embalmer.
That one, I can't watch that one, but it's definitely interesting, There's some really, really wacky stuff for that one. There's the Black Devil doll from Hell, stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Now, you guys are probably doing the Nostril Picker, because didn't you help with that one too?
Yeah.
We're trying to find a copy.
Oh yeah, we're trying to get a copy of that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like another good example, some of these, people should bear in mind, Massacre Video, they have, shot on VHS stuff, so it looks a little shot on VHS, that's why.
But it's, and then like just for pics, we got,
we got the
opening of Misty Beethoven.
Yeah, that beautiful opening of Misty Beethoven. We got Barbara Broadcast. We have, I think the Passions of Carol. That's another one. We have a few more. Not off the top of my head, I can't remember. But
and then Vagrancy, we have
Color Correct My Cock.
Color Correct My Cock, which is just trailers thrown together, should be pretty funny.
Which they have a great sense of humor with how they put it together. And with some of the titles that really haven't been seen before, not that they haven't been seen before, but we're putting up a really good copy of what I'm excited for is Alex Terenzi. He did a documentary called Weed, and it's all about pot from like 1971, 72, and they actually go all around the world about it. And
wow.
It's really interesting, and they actually what's kind of weird from a historical standpoint, he goes to Cambodia right before it fell, and he just starts giving weed to people. I think it's the host. I don't think it's Terenzi himself, but I know Durenzi directed it, so that's just like one of the examples of the interesting things you'll be able to check out on there.
Awesome.
Now, will there be like special features, or because you guys have the commentaries by the Hysteria Continues, anything like that will be added?
Yeah, we're trying to get as much stuff as we can, but we're trying to get all the movies up first, and
Okay.
it's only going to grow and expand from where it is now.
Yeah, nothing like that there. That being said, we do have some really cool documentaries up there. We do have the documentaries that were on the video Nasties. Those are both up there.
Okay, cool.
Like
that was really
Days and the first one.
Yeah, those are great.
Yep, and so yeah, we just a lot of interesting random stuff to check out. It's cool because it's going to be different from a lot of the other kinds of streaming sites out there too, where you have like all these different kind of genre films put together, and also the behind the scenes of them too. So a lot of interesting stuff to check out.
Awesome.
But we also want feedback too. If you guys love it, well, tell us why you love it. If you guys think we can improve, tell us where we can improve.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a P.O. box for hate mail.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's exploitation.tv, everybody. So go there and sign up if you haven't already. If you didn't do the Indiegogo, head over there right now and sign up.
And I guess for the people who supported us, will they be getting an email?
Yep, you'll be getting an email, and that'll walk you through everything, and it'll all work out.
Awesome. All right. Well, I may have to tell my wife to find something to do tonight because I think I'll be perusing the site.
This weekend.
Huh? This weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
I can't wait. I want to do it now. I'm gonna call in sick. Actually,
Do it.
I'm just kidding. Everyone be responsible with your jobs. You don't want to fuck around with that. All right, gentlemen. Thank you guys for talking about Exploitation TV and all the other random stuff we threw out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I always end up buying things when I'm talking to you guys, so yeah.
Okay.
So it's always good to talk to you guys. My wallet thanks you and hates you at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go swim in my pool of gold now.
Do that.
All right, thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, man.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys for listening to the show. Seriously, support Vinegar Syndrome. Go to vinegarsyndrome.com, buy their shit, and then exploitation.tv. Sign up. I'm Brad. After talking to them, I'm super excited about this.
And that's something we can also cover too. On
yes, we may have
titles be fun.
We may have to add that to our Screams segment. So, hope you guys enjoyed this special mini-sode. Go to Twitter, Scream_cast on Twitter. Of course, go to thescreamcast.com and go to our sponsors page and support Coffee Shop of Horrors and Grindhouse Video and Wolfman of Mars and Kevin Spencer, the guy who was responsible for our artwork.
Yep.
Buy his, he has some T-shirts and shit like that. So give them all some love. And of course, thank you to oneofus.net for rushing this episode out for today. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the week and a great weekend. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. The party's just begun.